All right, everybody, what's going on? It's your man Simeon Henderson, and I am live in LA. I know it is super cold in Chicago. I feel bad for you guys, but I'll be back tomorrow. And I'm sitting here with the one and only Mr. Mark Harris. Mark.
Simeon, I'm saying with the
My
one and only
man.
Simeon Harris.
So, hey, what's up? So we got people chiming in. He said, "What's up, Mark?"
What's up?
Everybody said. So you talk to them over there.
Right here?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Everybody. So we're gonna have a quick little conversation. We are down here in LA for the Pan African Film Festival, where Black and Privilege Volume 1 is premiering. It premiered last night. It'll be showing again Sunday and Monday, and it's awesome. It's like electric out here. You're out here. You have your project going. People came out last night. They enjoyed it. The Q&A was off the chain. What was it like for you when people, the reactions to people in the audience as they were watching Black and Privilege?
So, the thing is that from the first chapter, because it's split up in chapters, chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. So the first chapter, is a little bit more light than chapter 2 and 3.
Right.
So chapter 1, everybody was like laughing, they were taking it in.
Yeah.
Then chapter 2 and 3, it was like silence.
Right.
But it was funny because there were some older ladies sitting in the back of it. And one lady was like, I don't like the way he portrayed. I don't like the way this is portrayed. Like,
Right.
It's making us look bad.
Right.
I don't like the negative images. So I was hearing her talking, but she didn't know that the director said, which is good,
Right.
And so and I think that along with the positive feedback, and I don't consider that to be negative feedback, because of course whenever as Black people, whenever we start to examine self, you always gonna get those who refuse to examine self.
Yeah.
And our community can't evolve, we can't grow if we do not examine self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. And and that's the cool thing about feedback. What's up, Antonio Pope, Cheryl, Heather, Linnell, Maisha Carter's watching.
What's up, Maisha?
And Gwendolyn, Eugene, Mikhail. Just I gotta say what's up to you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Eugene Bush?
No, Eugene Parker.
Oh, Eugene, what's up, Eugene?
And we're out here and we're talking about Black and Privilege. It's Black History Month. We're talking about Black and Privilege. And we were getting a lot of responses, great responses, but then there was a turn. And I don't want to tell you guys if you haven't seen it yet, but there was a turn in the story and we got silence. And the cool thing about that is we know that people are thinking.
Yeah.
And if you guys have seen the first part of Black and Privilege, let us know what you think, or if you have anything that you want to say in regards to Black History Month and what's going on. We're out here in LA in Rodini's, right?
Rodini Park.
Rodini Park.
Cafe.
The cafe, having some coffee, and just sitting down with Mark, trying to get his view and his take on things. What I want to say to you is, when you're writing something like Black and Privilege, what's going through your mind? Like, what's your mindset?
My mindset is to always, first, anything I do, it has to be done out of love, first and foremost for our community, you know what I'm saying, for Black people. And so, I always have to keep that at the forefront, is that I have to write out of love, and but then, as it relates to Black and Privilege, is because when you write down the spirit of love and not animosity or try to make us look bad, then I think most people can see it on the screen.
Right.
That, he's not trying to make us look bad, but what he's trying to do is just trying to get us to examine ourselves. Like all of us, we need to examine ourselves.
Yes.
So that's the mindset I have when I'm writing these episodes. I'm like, man, what can we deal with to make us evolve, to make us grow, to make our community a community that's safe, decent, economically strong, where, like we said last night, we said that we control everything that goes on in our community, from economics to the police force to the school system. Everything is operated, controlled, and organized.
Right.
That's
cool. So if you guys are watching, we're talking about Black and Privilege, and it's a series that's coming out. It's playing out in LA right now at the Pan African Film Festival. It premiered last night. It was pretty dope. We had a lot of people come out to check it out. We got a lot of great feedback. Everybody filled out a comment card. which is good because I guess they're voting for it as well. But the thing that I like, Mark, is that it got people thinking. There were so many questions. We had to stop the Q&A because there was a plethora of questions. Everybody had something to say, and they wanted to know where it was going, what you were thinking, how did you do it. They loved the acting was great. So big shout out to Corey Hendricks, William L. Johnson, Don Have-Kinney, Malcolm Banks, and Brayley Evans, Nadia, Season, Brian White, and anybody if I forget, Camilla, everybody.
My son Lewis.
Lewis did a great job. Season, and big shout out to Maisha, one of the executive producers, Toya Hunter, Rochelle. Big shout out to you guys. Oh, and the DP. We can't forget the DP.
Ricardo Islas.
Ricardo,
my brother.
Ricardo did a great job. And let me ask you this, because everybody knows that when you shoot a production, hey Taboris, how you doing, guy? Mike Muka. When you shoot a production, the sound and the visual is so important.
A lot of people talked about the music too. Adam Lucas,
and the music is like that other actor.
Yeah.
You know. So what was it like? Seeing how good it came out on screen from a visual and a sound standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very proud. I don't think people are aware of what it takes as far as budget, what we make our films for. You know, like I love the whole process of movie making.
Yes.
So if I can't, we don't get millions of dollars.
Right.
We don't get hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, we get, you know, like our feature films, you may get 150.
Yeah.
But people are not aware that, like, for a story like Black and Privilege, it was shot. You know, I don't want to talk about the budget.
Right.
But we don't shoot these for a lot. We don't shoot these for. We just put our nickels and dimes together and we make these projects.
But they look great.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that a lot of people talked about last night, and even after the Q&A, people were talking to me outside. Hey, Michelle Hayes, how you doing? Good to see you. Good. That's gonna be my new age. We were talking, and they were saying, "Man, how much did you guys spend on this production?" Because everything looked very good. And nowadays, with technology, even us sitting here doing this interview for the Simeon Henderson show, everything is so much more accessible. And if you have the right people in the right place doing their job, you'll get a great product.
Yeah.
And I think that is most important. So let me ask you this, Mark. Black and Privilege seems like it's going to get distributed.
Definitely.
And it's going to keep going.
Definitely.
What else do you have in that brain of yours? Because one thing about Mark, guys, if you know Mark, I've been knowing Mark for over 15 years now, and we're friends. But the thing I love about Mark as a director, and I didn't get a chance to say this last night, is the fact that he's an actor's director. He'll let you bring to the table what you have, but he's going to help you enhance it and bring it forward. And also, when he writes, he can see you in that role. So it's almost like you always know who you want to work with, depending on the project you're doing. What is that process like?
Well, of course, we get a lot of complaints.
Of course.
And some of the complaints we get is that, and I think that for me is, Mark, the complaints I get is, Mark, why do you always work with the same people? And one of the things is that fact that it's not just I always work with the same people. If you look at different directors, directors like to work with people they know that's going to come and deliver. It's easy. Most important is like one of the most important things is that people are easy to work with.
Yes.
That you're not going to get on set and spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes arguing or debating.
Yes.
A scene, but you want to talk it out, and you want to hash it out to evolve the story. It's not an argument.
Right.
So I like to work with people that I know that's going to come and deliver. That's very passionate about their project, and somebody you don't have to call and say, okay, where you at? You're supposed to be on here.
Right.
So
working with the right people.
Working with the right people is very important.
Hey. Oh, he from oh my God. He's watching from Saudi Arabia. What's going on, Bruce Guthrie? Good to see you. So everybody, I'm out here in LA, right? So if you know anything about me, you know I'm a LeBron fan. So I know you guys are probably sitting back.
But
I know you guys are probably sitting back in Chicago like, why is this dude wearing a Lakers shirt? Well, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. But I'm in LA. My favorite player, LeBron James, plays for LA. So I have on my LeBron jersey, but I have my Jordans on. So that's that. Let me ask you this. So everybody watching, if you guys have a question for Mark, please ask the question. You're watching live. I can see the questions, and you can ask Mark, and you can pick his brain right now while you have the chance. You have access to him right now, so you guys can ask a question. I have the question. I have it right here. Ask any question you want to Mark about being a director or writer, his projects he's worked on. Quincy Trent, I know you probably have some questions.
what's up, Quincy?
And you're coming along, brother, doing your thing. All for the Money is going to be in. They're doing a special screening in Chicago on the 18th. That's I think it's February 18th. It's a Monday. So go and check it out. Maisha Carter's starring in that with Brian Wildcat Cat Williams. So here we go. Now sitting here with you, Mark, it's so cool because I like for people to be themselves in interviews and just have fun. But let me ask you this. You've been writing. Tell me and tell the people two things. What was your first script like that you wrote in reference to, in comparison to now, your writing?
Well, and I have a long long. So every day for me is to study, to become a better filmmaker and a better writer. So I'm always a student. So I consider myself a student filmmaker because I always want to see myself learning. But the first project that I've ever written was a project called Shades of Classes, and it was basically about colorism in the black community.
Okay.
About colorism in the black community. But I can't even. I don't even know where that script was at. But I see a big difference between the writing back then and the writing now. And I'm sure 10 years ago it's going to be different. 10 years from now than the writing today. Because again, as a student filmmaker, I always want to see myself evolving and growing. Every single day. Yeah.
That's cool. But the thing that I love about your work, and anybody that's watched your work and know your work and seen your work, it's consistent. It's consistent, meaning that you always have a positive message, right?
Yeah.
It's always entertaining, but there's always a message. There's always a feel-good story. There's always triumph. There's always something that you can take from it and learn from it, and that's what I like. You don't compromise who you are, and even if you have to tweak things, you still get the general message conveyed to the viewers what you want to convey. And what is it like staying true? What is it like, or what's the struggle of staying true to who you are and sticking to what you believe in?
Well, the struggle, of course, the struggle when you want to, people don't understand, like, in how they look at everything as a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Everything is not a conspiracy theory, but they are conspiracies that's going on. So when you have, in particular with the black community, now, the reason I'm saying is this: if you take a story like Black and Privilege, right, and one of the things that the great actor David Crawford said, who played Big Papa,
right,
he said that one of the reasons why they want to prevent a community like Inglewood from popping up is because that can you can start seeing that duplicated all over the city and all over the world.
right.
So now just think about this: if black people we become more aware of, take control of our economics in our community, what happens? Then what happens is that we're making our own clothes.
Yeah.
With the liquor business is gone. The cigarette business is gone.
Yes.
So the McDonald's is gone. The Burger King is gone. The Wendy's is gone. All those fast food joints. That's why in Black and Privilege, right, these people were not just fighting. You all were not just fighting gangs and the politicians, but you had these corporations, right? So people need us to be in ignorance in order to take advantage of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you find somebody that sincerely want to raise our consciousness, there are people who don't want to see that happen.
Okay.
And you know, it's not because they just hate us. It's not because of hate. It's business.
Right.
It's not like it's not slavery didn't happen because they just hated black people. It was a business.
It was a business.
It was a business.
It was. And so people don't take this wrong. When you look at slavery and what it was a business because they used the slaves to build everything, to cook, to clean, to pick, to break down, and so it is. And that's a really good point that you make. And we're sitting here, guys. We're in LA right now, and we're just enjoying this morning. It's right now. It's I want to say it's like 9 o'clock here, but 11 o'clock back in Chicago. But we're sitting here and we're talking about things that matter. And I think what you have to take from this is you have to take this conversation and we have to continue the conversation because that's the problem. It's like phases. Like, oh, it's Black History Month, let's talk about this. Oh, it's Cancer Awareness Month, let's talk about this. Domestic violence, domestic abuse month, let's talk about. No, we need to talk about these things on a continuous basis because someone always needs help, someone always needs someone to talk to, and someone always needs knowledge and information. And that's what we're doing. It's so funny. I'm sitting here with Mark, and when I first met Mark, remember, I don't know if you remember, I used to always tell you, man, of Davis Singleton. John Singleton.
No, Johnson.
John Singleton. It's so funny. And but it's I want people to know, I want you to tell people, as a director, as an actor, as a writer, whatever people become, there's someone that you glean from. People that you look at, people that you try to emulate. And when I say emulate, I mean you take ideas and you look at their greatness. Who are some of the greats that you've seen that have influenced you in what you do?
Well, again, and yesterday when after the movie, we were doing the Q&A, the great actor Carl Gillard.
Yeah, Carl Gillard.
Mark, who's one of your influences? I kind of see it. Of course, Spike Lee.
Right.
You know, he said, yeah, I knew it. So, of course, you know, as a filmmaker, right, in particular as a black filmmaker, you can't tell me that Spike Lee has a, that's why he's such I think he's very underrated.
Yes.
Here's the reason why, because I don't think people realize what if you look at his films, right? The budgets that he had compared to other budgets that other filmmakers get, white filmmakers get. So say for instance, he made Malcolm X for $30 million.
Yeah.
But you look at a movie like Ali was made for $100 million. But as far as production quality, can you see a difference?
No, you can't.
Okay. So I don't think people really understand the genius of Spike Lee. So I love him for that, and I love him for he's been pretty consistent.
Yes.
And how he portrays black people. You know, there's some things I have because I research and there's some things I have when it comes to the Malcolm X movie.
Right.
Certain stuff like that. But the overall
right.
that he influenced a lot of black people. So as a filmmaker, it's Spike Lee, Charles Burnett, Judy Dash, of course. You have Kevin Smith, love Kevin Smith, Quentin Tarantino,
yes.
Martin Scorsese. I mean,
and I'll say this, and I'll argue this to anybody. If you don't agree with me, hit me up on my inbox. Tell me right now. Let me know, and we'll argue this point. I think Spike Lee was the pioneer for black filmmaking. No, I said black filmmaking. No, when I say that, he was the first black, as far as I can remember, he was the first black director and filmmaker that put movies out on a national scale that we, could relate to, and that entertained from Mo Better Blues to Malcolm X. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But do you know what I'm trying to say?
I understand what you're saying.
I'm not saying he's the only one.
He brought it back.
He brought it back.
Because remember.
So let's go back.
Yeah. So remember.
Help me out.
Remember doing the '70s, right?
Uh-huh. Hey, Rochelle.
During the 70s, Hollywood was bankrupt.
Right.
And so Hollywood was going bankrupt.
Okay.
And so you had all of these black films that actually it was the black filmmakers that actually saved Hollywood.
Well, Pam Grier and
the black exploitation.
The black exploitation. Yes. So but see, that was before my time.
Yeah, you know what black was.
No, but I'm saying, Mark, the movies were before my time.
Right.
I know the movies. I watched them. Yeah. They were before my time. But in my time, Spike Lee.
Yeah.
So let me clarify that. You're absolutely right. So I would have lost that part of the debate. but that was before my time. So as far as I can remember in my time, Spike Lee was doing all of the movies. But I've watched a lot of the black exploitation movies, which kind of saved Hollywood.
It did.
It saved Hollywood.
Those movies saved Hollywood.
Yeah.
Which people don't talk about.
Yeah.
And then after those movies, right, and then George Lucas came along with the Star Wars, which is the big blockbuster, and then you have Jaws.
Yes.
And then when those movies started to do very well, then you saw the disappearance of the black filmmakers and the black movies because they didn't need them anymore. They always, like the studios, what they do is, it's still today. It's a business, but they can go out and make a black film for $5 million. Make a black film for $5 million and make $100 million off of this film.
Yes.
And they'll make a white film for $30 million, $40 million. So Monique wasn't wrong when she said that when Monique was talking about the comparison of her film, which was it was considered in Hollywood standards low budget,
right?
But the profit was so big, and still today, like the profits of black film. That's why black films that are made in Hollywood, these are films keep Hollywood afloat because the profit is so huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so cool. If you would have told me 10 years ago or 15 years ago that two black kids from Chicago, the West Side and the South Side, Inglewood and the Village, would be sitting in LA, in Hollywood, talking about a film that was written and directed, starring in, I would have told you, what you talking about, Willis? But it's just one of those things where it's such a blessing and it's so refreshing for us to sit here and have this conversation and share it with the world. And anybody that's out there watching this, I encourage you, whatever you're doing, whatever you inspire to do, whatever endeavors that you want to embark upon, go for it with everything in you, because at the end of the day, there's one person and one thing stopping you, and that's you. Don't let other people's opinion become your reality. And that's why you have to stand up and go for it. And I think Mark is so cool, and I took this from you. I never get this. I know how you started, and you were going door to door selling DVDs.
Yeah.
And I remember I told you when I started doing my show that some people were like, man, don't do it until you get this and that. And you was like, man, forget that, do your show. And I started doing a show and it started growing.
Yeah, and it's popular.
And that's what we have to do. We have to encourage the people. John Ruffin, what's going on, brother?
John Ruffin,
hey, we were just talking about doing your thing, John Ruffin, and you're doing your thing with Theater 47, brother. Continue to grow and work hard. Can't wait to work with you again. And it's just one of those things. Let me ask you this. So it's so funny. You're a man of faith, right? You're a man of faith. You have a family, you have kids, you got all boys, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got all boys. So it's so funny. One of your sons, Lewis, is in Black and Privilege. And it's funny because I knew Lewis was a little chubby guy.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. Lewis came on set and I was like, what was that? That's Lewis.
Yeah.
What is it like for you to finally see, because I think he's the first son that actually did some acting, besides the one son that walked past and I used to love him. Remember that?
That's Lewis. That was Lewis.
That's my point.
But he was telling that was Lewis when you walked past.
With the water.
Chubby.
That's little chubby Lewis. So here we go. Rochelle said good morning from the Bond Producers. Good morning, Rochelle. So what is it like to see your son step into this world of entertainment and actually you actually get to direct him? What was that like?
It's great. I mean, he was in my very, very first film. He was in it, and I'm trying to get him to get more serious about it, and to push him more into the acting, because I think he's very talented. I want him to take more classes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And just to study it more. But it's always good. My youngest son, Reggie, is in Every Day's Christmas.
Right.
And but I just want I want him to do what he wants to do, what he loves to do.
Right.
But he's very talented.
And he's into music too.
He's
an artist.
He's
right.
an artist.
Yes.
He's an artist. Yeah, he writes. He's a hell of a writer.
Yeah.
He's a great singer. So I just want him to take his crap.
He got that honestly. It's funny how we see our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's funny. Like little Simeon, he's been acting since he was 3.
Yeah.
And he's a professional. He's good. But he writes, he sings, he writes, and he raps. And some of the stuff I hear him come up with, I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's my son.
Yeah.
And so we have to encourage them to do these things. And I just think it's really cool, man, what you're doing with your work. And not only that, I always talk about people like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and Vince Vaughn and his buddies and all of these people, Rob Snyder and all of those.
Yeah.
They work together, and we have to do that in our community and bring each other up, and we have to always support each other, and that's what it's about, guys. It's about support, it's about hard work, and it's about perseverance, and you have to get to the next level. But always remember, there's someone who can help you get to that next level. And if you can't find anyone to help you, you research, you get the education, you get the knowledge, and you learn how to do it. And I think that's what a lot of people miss. Harv, how you doing? Harv Roman, how you doing? I have to speak to the people when they come on, guys. So, anybody, if you have any questions about filmmaking, about life, anything, make sure you let us know. We're sitting out here in LA, and it's so cool. I'm sitting here with my brother Mark, and he didn't know I was going to do this interview right now. And when we come to LA, one thing we always do, and we've been doing this now for about 5 years, we go on a walk early in the morning. And Mark makes me walk before I know it, we've walked 2 miles. Mark was like, let's walk down the street. And I'm like, wait a minute, where we at? We got to walk back. So let me ask you this, Mark, and I'll finish with this. What does it mean to you to show the importance of Black history? What does that mean to you, to show the importance of Black history?
Well, what I like to do is, it's very important. But what I like to do is, I don't like to show Black people suffering.
Okay.
Because those images, there's a reason why, that they want to show the images of Black people always suffering instead of building. Right? So, if I were to do a film about Black Wall Street, or if I had done a film about Nat Turner, the film I would have done about Nat Turner would have been more like a Braveheart. Okay. Right? So if you look at Braveheart, right, you always see William Wallace, which is like my favorite film. William Wallace, these people were being oppressed, right, by England, but you never saw them suffer. They always fought, right? So even at the end of when William Wallace was killed, he was still a champion.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So with our people, we have this habit of showing Black people suffering, showing Black people being killed, or we don't
always going through.
Yeah, but we never show us as being the champion.
Okay.
So a piece I want to do is about Asada Shakur.
Okay.
The script is already written. When writing this project, I always want to show her overcoming different obstacles, right? Even to the last moment when she escapes prison, she's the winner.
Right.
She's the winner. So when I'm dealing with a subject about Black history, if you're gonna deal with slavery, that's why I love. Now this is a disagreement I have with Michael, as far as when Django, right?
Yeah.
Great movie. You can't deny that's like. Whatever Quentin Tarantino, I know he's a white guy, but he tapped into some blackness. Yeah, he did. Somewhere. Because you see a Black man who went to I'm not going to say he did what he had to do in order to go save his Black woman. Right? And at the end, he saw him right in the sunset.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, I have to disagree with Spike. Like, Quentin Tarantino made an amazing film.
I think on that one, and I have to just say this. I think Spike was a little mad he didn't come up with that idea.
Oh my God!
Because it was brilliant. I don't care.
Brilliant.
It was so brilliant. If anybody said anything negative about that movie, I didn't even hear it.
That's basically one of my more, like, when you talk about we do movies about slavery. For me, that's my movie.
You know another good one about slavery, the series Underground. Did you watch that?
You know what? I never got a chance.
Oh
to watch
my man, let me tell you.
Yeah.
That series Underground was so dope.
Yeah.
It was so dope. It was real. And I think when these stories are told, the way that it's depicted is what gets the people. And the thing is, like you said, you get to see the real struggles and the trials, but you get to see the triumph. Yeah. You get to see the realness. And because, come on, man, we know there were slaves that wasn't having it.
Yes.
That's why they had to die.
Yes.
And it was something that wasn't happening to the point that when they were being brought over here, instead of coming here, they jumped over because I'm not doing that. Well, I mean, I call it the mentality of a warrior. Like I won't be held captive. I won't be held down no matter what.
Right. So like even when we did in history, right? The first slave ship, right? The first slave ship that came to America. I know they teach us in the history books it came in the year 1619, but the first slave ship actually came in the year 1555. Okay. That's why I get my company name of my company for 1555 Filmworks, based off the first slave ship. Now that
you do have a ship on there too.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
But that first slave ship that came, every slave on that ship had to be killed.
Yes.
Because when they got here, so I think people don't realize this, right? When when they went over initially, those slaves were not kidnapped. They got. And I know people want to battle because we want to make it appear that these people, no, the Europeans were not strong enough,
right,
to go over there and kidnap those Africans.
Right.
They promised them if to get on the ship, and when they got on the ship, they promised them that this foreign you can find gold, right? Okay. And so these Africans willingly got on that ship. I'm talking about in the year 1555.
Okay.
So when they got over here, right, they thought they would come over here for, gold and things like that. But when they came over here, right, they realized that they wanted to enslave them. And it won't happen. So again, the Europeans had the weapons, so every slave had to be killed. So they killed every last one of them because they couldn't enslave them.
They weren't having it.
Right. And so from 1555 to 1619, what happened was you had this process called seasoning, meaning that then they were kidnapping the slaves, and what they would do, instead of just bringing them to America, they would drop them off in Puerto Rico and Mexico and Brazil, and this is where they broke the slave down, meaning that they took the young slave and they separated the young slave from the parents, and they broke it down. So that was the process called seasoning. Okay. And so the slaves that they actually broke down, or the slaves that submitted, that's the slave that they brought over to America. To America. But the other slave, the most rebellious slaves, stayed in Haiti. That's why Haiti was the first one to get free.
Makes sense.
But there was so many slavery rules. It wasn't. So people want to think that the Emancipation Proclamation came about because they just these black people were killing. Every single day they were killing.
And this is why we have to open our minds to history. Yeah. And the stories and knowing the truth. Yeah. Because like I didn't even realize that about the 1555 because I know about when slaves 1619. So it's one of those things where this is how we learn, this is how we grow, and how we evolve, and we increase our knowledge by listening and having a conversation. Yeah. One of the reasons that we don't know is because we don't have the conversation. Exactly. And because I can vividly remember when I was in high school, when I came from the city to the suburbs, in history class, the closest we got to black history or anything was when they showed, and I'll never forget this, I was only black in the class, and I had to sit there and watch a video where they were hosing down black people, beating them and getting hit with batons and bit by dogs, and it was the most uncomfortable feeling in the world for me because it's like, that's the only history you're going to show? We have to show, that's his story. You got to show history. So I think what we're saying right now and the things that you're you're shedding light on, people have to get this in order to know what really happened, because there's so many stories.
Yes.
And we have to be open and willing, and stop always getting mad at people's opinions when they have something to say, or if they have some knowledge you don't have. Be willing to accept that knowledge and take it, and then if you really want to know more, go research it.
Yeah, people don't like. It's easy to call somebody a racist, bigot, or talk about Kanye instead of just condemn Kanye for his choice, right?
Right.
Instead of just sitting down and having a
conversation.
A conversation.
Yep.
So like we like to toss labels on people because it's easy.
Yes.
Because we we really don't know.
Yeah.
So it's easy to say Simeon is a racist. Simeon is a big old. Simeon is a coon or a sellout.
Yeah. Right.
That's so.
Yeah.
If we disagree with politics or disagree with religion, I'm automatically a coon or a sellout. Instead of just having a conversation, like why do I have to just think like you?
Yes.
Why can't I be a critical thinker?
Why can't I have my own opinion?
Yeah.
And that's why I disagree with people when they say, don't ever talk with your friends about religion, politics, and money or something, whatever it is.
Religion. How we going to evolve?
And I don't think that. I believe that we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I believe that you have the right to your opinion. I believe that you can say anything you need to say, even if I don't agree with it wholeheartedly. I'm going to respect you for your beliefs. And the only thing I ask is, if that's what you believe, that's cool. But don't try to make me believe it.
Well,
if I think differently, like respect me for my thoughts, and I'm gonna respect you for your thoughts.
Like that's what we like in Black and Privilege, right? Remember when Malcolm Banks' character Jay went to see the pastor?
Yes.
And the pastor told him, like, in this community, you have Muslims, Christians,
right,
Jews, and people who just don't even do religion. Mm-hmm. But we all respect one another. There's a common goal. Right. As Black people, we're so divisive.
Yes.
Religious gang banging, political gang banging, but yet. You have comedians who gang banging one another. You have entertainers who are Black entertainers who are gang banging.
Yeah, it's crazy.
These people who are athletes gang banging. So our brothers and sisters who are in the streets, who are quote unquote the gang bangers, if they see our people always arguing on the upper level, So what?
It makes
why
it
should,
okay.
Why should our people on the street be any different?
Right.
We have to put better. We have to be better examples. Like we have to, because it's like you see the whole thing with Terry Crews,
right?
Right. So we want to attack one another.
Yes.
We so quick as Black people. We so quick to attack one another.
Oh man!
But when white people say something, we like.
you become cowards. You know what I compare it to, right? The Willie Lynch letter.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's live in 2019, and what happens is people listen to me. Black people, white people, whatever you are. What's happening is you're tearing each other down, and guess what people are doing? They're using it to get ratings, to get views, to make money at the expense of our ignorance, at the expense of us tearing each other down and hurting each other.
Theo.
That's why I refuse. Hey, Thea. That's why I refuse to change this show. This show, because we have all the reality shows where they're fighting, sex, drugs, rock and roll, everything. My goal is to show something different, and that's why we need you guys to support what we're doing, because it's going to make a difference. And don't think, well, it's more over here than it is here. No, it doesn't matter. You have to continue to build. So thank you guys for tuning in. Tyrone, Raul, Jamisha Trice, Patrick, David, Thea, Mark. But this is what we have to do. I'm sitting here live in LA with my brother, Mark Harris, writer, director, filmmaker. He's executive producer. He does it all. But the thing is, we're sitting here, two young Black men from Chicago, started from here, and we're here, and we're going here. Huh? Toya said, producer. Wait, what's your question? Latoya Hunter asked the question so we can answer it for you.
Latoya Hunter, the producer of Black and Privilege, Volume 1.
So we're waiting for your question. But while we're waiting for her question, like I said, if you guys want to know anything, let us know. And I want you guys to be on the lookout, because in April, I'm going to be doing an acting workshop in Chicago, which is going to include the acting part, the directing part, and also the producing part. So we'll have people like LaToya Hunter talking about being a producer. We'll have Mark talking about being a writer and director. We'll have me speaking on acting, you know, breaking into the business, the do's, the don'ts, and the different things that you should do and what you should look for and how you should move as a professional. And these are things that we have to understand in order to be successful in whatever it is we're trying to do. So we're sitting here in LA and we were waiting for LaToya's question, but oh, here it is. So she says, what change needs to happen in order for us to come together as a community? We are very divided. So, Mark, I'm gonna let you hit that. What change needs to happen for us to come together as a community? Yes, Toya, we are very divided.
Yeah, the change is happening now, and here's why. Here's why. We have to take advantage of the change. So we saw that on our brother Chicago, and we love him. Obama, President Obama.
Okay.
We love him, right? We saw that under his administration that a lot of, as black people, right, we kind of fell asleep, right? So now we have Trump in office, right? And you know, Trump is, but we have to take advantage of the fact that he's in office, meaning that so things are happening, right? So to answer your question, things like it's not going to be one event that's going to happen that's going to just change black people.
Right.
As a matter of fact, black people now, we're opening more businesses.
Yes.
So things are gradually changing. We're talking more about community development. We're talking about taking more control of our community. You know, so I'm just saying this. I know a lot of people going to hate me for it, but if it takes Donald Trump being in office to cause us to take more control of our community, so we're asking now for black men to police our community. Yeah. So with the police killings of black men, with Donald Trump being in office, with so all those things are causing us to want to evolve and do that. Right. So I'm telling you, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you will see all throughout America, right? You'll see black people controlling our economics, controlling our police force. Now you have a lot of us talking about opening our own schools.
Schools, education, yes.
So it's happening now. Right. You know what I'm saying? But we also, I don't think that, we have to also, again, we have to also know that these young brothers who are so-called gangbangers, right? They're not doing all this killing. We cover that, and I used to love her. Right, yeah. They're not doing all this killing. Well, it's easier to say that these brothers are killing each other, or we're killing each other. No. Okay, so just look at it this way. And I know, what's our brother name? Josie Smollett? Smollett? So with the whole incident, so now just keep this in mind, right? If they can go and see him walking, and they can go and pull up all these videotapes and know what's going on in his life, right? You mean to tell me they can't go and do the same thing when a brother or a sister
most definitely
gets killed? Most definitely. How come they're not solving these cases?
It's selective.
No, it's not just selective.
No, I'm saying they solve the ones they want to solve.
Well, it's not even about them solving the ones that they want to solve, right? It's more about who's doing this killing. Okay. Because of course they can easily, if it was just us killing us, if it was just us killing us, right? They can easily go and say these cases could be solved overnight. Oh yeah, but it's much deeper than that. Yes. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
And there's so many unsolved killings in our neighborhood, and people know who did it. They know who did it. Well, I'm saying people can find out who did it, but it's almost like they don't even put the effort into cracking the case, unless it's one of the TV shows where they need to crack the case for the show.
Do you think there are people who benefit from the violence that's going on?
Yes.
Okay. So if you benefit financially, economically, and because
why would you
want to solve?
Why should? So this is
Or maybe there are people who are actually involved in doing it to keep the violence going on.
I think it's definitely orchestrated.
Absolutely.
It's orchestrated. So, hey, so Toya, I hope that Mark answered your question. And my answer to that question is, how do we come together as a community? I think we have to support each other more. We have to be more sympathetic to each other's needs. We have to talk to each other, and we have to want to make a change in our community. And when we come together, it's so awesome to see how black people evolve when we come together. And don't get me wrong, anybody that's watching this, black, white, and different, it's not just about black people. We're just talking about black people right now.
You know, men, this argument, we always get this argument. We have to, okay, we never have to explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to explain.
Yeah.
You know, because people, like, let me tell you something about white people and other people. They really appreciate black people who love black people first, because they know it's natural. And they know that if you can love your people, you won't sell out your people.
You will, yeah.
That you will sell them out, and that you can have a really sincere love for all of humanity.
Because at the end of the day, you show love.
And you show love.
And
because,
that makes sense.
They don't respect black people who sell out their people.
Yeah.
They may use them, but they don't respect them.
Exactly. And someone that sells out your people, let me tell you, people will use you because of that, but they'll use you and they'll get rid of you.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, I just got to say this real quick. Remember the movie American Game? Hoodlum. You remember the movie Hoodlum? Yeah. So remember at the end, Bumpy and Luciano got together to knock off, what's his name? Schultz, right? And the guy that they used that was a stool pigeon and everything, he thought, and this was the guy that was right next to Schultz the whole time. Schultz, right-hand man.
Oh, the black dude?
No, not him.
Okay.
The white one.
Okay.
And at the end, he sold him out, and they killed Schultz, and then he came to the car to get his money, and he was like, it's done. And he came to get his money, and they killed him.
Yeah.
Because if you'll sell out your brother, I know you'll sell me out. So we had to cut all of it out.